Hey guys, Joseph Mills here with AutoMeter Garage, hanging out at Boostin Performance, Hoffman Estates, Illinois. Now, over the past year with Project Evo, we've learned that maybe it is not the most ideal daily driver, especially when those daily driver duties include such tasks as a reasonably long commute, some stop and go driving, and Illinois' legendary pothole-ridden roads. So we couple that with a stiff ride, with interior that, while it's improved over previous generations, isn't the most luxurious place to be, and the kind of fuel economy that even the V8 guys laugh at. We decided it was time to look into getting a proper daily driver. So I wanted something kind of practical, you know, roomy inside, not punishing to drive every day, room for a kid's seat in the back. But nothing soulless, nothing that was an appliance, no crossovers or anything like that. Something with reasonable aftermarket support, because obviously nothing stays stock for very long. So when we looked at everything, I think there was really only one option for us. So folks, I present to you Project Daily Driver. This is a 2015 Subaru WRX Limited. This is the first of the most current generation, the VA platform of WRX. Now the formula is fairly similar to what we expect from a WRX. It is a 2-liter, horizontally opposed 4-cylinder engine with a turbocharger. Now this model year introduces not only a twin-scroll turbocharger, but also direct injection. Now, what that means is this develops a claimed 268 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. Now, that torque, it should be noted, hits its peak at 2,000 RPM, making this, despite being a bigger, heavier, more comfortable WRX than generations previous, still just about as fast and posting similar performance numbers. So I'm totally prepared for all of the hate that I know I'm going to get on this, but this particular WRX Limited is equipped with a flappy paddle gearbox. That's right, I know, it's an old man's car, but it's a daily driver, and we have other weapons for track days. And surprisingly, it's less terrible than I thought it would be. Now, despite being an old man's WRX, we can't leave well enough alone, so we're going to establish a baseline today here on the Boostin Performance 4-wheel Mustang dyno, and then we're going to hit it with this little guy right here, Cobb Accessport. Now, if you remember from Project Evo, quite a fan of the Accessport here. So we're going to see what this does bone stock, and then just flash a simple, off-the-shelf Stage 1 map, and then re-dyno. Every vehicle is different, and the Cobb Accessport accounts for that. Now, the tunes that the guys down at Cobb put together are incredibly safe. They are conservative, to say the least, because every car is going to have some variables. They're going to put a lot of extra power into the car. They're going to make it more drivable. It's not necessarily always about the peak numbers, but the power under the curve. But they're going to do so in such a manner so as to not accelerate the failure of your ring lands and head gaskets. So for those of you guys not familiar with Boostin Performance, maybe one of the Midwest's absolute best tuning shops. Now, owner Devin Schultz is a mad genius. This guy is a wizard with engine tuning. He is a hell of a car builder and also quite the race car driver. This guy has so many event wins, so many records, both in cars that he's built and cars that he's driven. It's really quite the impressive resume. So if you remember from last time we were here, this particular dyno, the Mustang dyno, is a bit of a heartbreaker. So we're not expecting to blow the world away with super high power numbers here. Now, it is important to note that what we're after is percentage increases, and that's what we want to see. So through each part of this series, as we continue to work on our WRX, we're going to come back to this very same facility, use this same dyno under the same calibration to give you a really good idea about what you could expect to see with similar mods on your car. Now, at the end of our first round of power mods, we're also going to have Devin do a pro tune on the car where it's going to be specifically tuned to this vehicle and to all the mods we have. Hope to see some fairly righteous power numbers. So yeah, not great on the stock pull here. The Blizzaks are not liking the dyno right now. Definitely a lot of rubber smell in the air. So we're going to flash our stage 1 off-the-shelf map from Cobb Tuning. Anytime you flash a vehicle, it's always a good idea to put it on a battery charger. You want to keep the voltage nice and steady and at a good level. So we've got this AutoMeter Bex 5000 fully automatic battery charger. We're just going to hook this up onto the vehicle and then perform our Accessport tune. With our battery charger hooked up and the key in the on position, we plug the Accessport into the OBD2 port and select the install option. Now this is going to communicate with our vehicle. That's what we've got here. And let's flash a map. So thankfully we have 93 octane. We got a stage 1 93 high wastegate because we want all the power. So even the Accessport recommends the battery charger. Thankfully we've already taken care of that. So this whole process takes about 2 minutes, and you've got a nice little indicator right here while it's performing the flash. So that's a wrap on our Cobb Stage 1 off-the-shelf map on the 2015 WRX Limited. You can see on the dyno charts here, really some pretty impressive gains in the heart of the rev range. So we picked up almost 50 foot-pounds of torque at peak, only picked up 12 peak horsepower, but if you look on the graph here, huge gains, almost 50 horsepower through the part that you're actually going to be driving, and a nice meaty bump throughout the torque curve there. So I'm anticipating this is absolutely going to wake up our little WRX and make it a heck of a lot more fun to drive. So that's a wrap on the introduction to Project Daily Driver. Again, Joseph Mills here with AutoMeter Garage, and thanks so much for watching. See you next time.